I live on top of the hill. But every day I go down to the village to buy the food that I'm going to cook that night. Welcome to what's left of the Italian-American neighborhood in San Francisco. I'm Gianni, and this is my North Beach. I'm making a frittata. This is a really simple recipe. I love frittata. It's really an ecumenical recipe. You can add whatever you want. I'll show you what I'm putting in mine today. But in terms of the fillings for the frittata, do it your way, whatever you feel like putting in. So let me show you what we're starting with today. So we're going to use about 8 eggs. And over here I've got some potato and onion that I'm going to saute first before we add the egg mixture. I've got some parsley, some fresh mozzarella that I'm going to dice up. It'll go in the egg mixture. I've got over here some sausages that I roasted up. I'm going to use some of those in a small dice also put in. We got some pecorino, some salt and pepper, and that's pretty much it. This is going to be absolutely delicious. It's good for a brunch. It's good for a dinner with a nice side salad. And it's also good to have left over because frittata makes a great panino, makes a great sandwich. So let's start with the potato and the onions. Just going to halve these and cut the potatoes into slices. I'm going to cut these on pretty much on the thin side, because when I put them in that pan with the olive oil, they'll pick up a nice golden crust. So we'll set these aside. Now we're going to get some onion slices. So let me just peel this. And just some nice size slices of the onion. Let's put these right in here. Let them get going a little bit. And we just want these again to get translucent. Some of them still stuck together. I'm just breaking them up so that they'll evenly coat the bottom of this pan. So these are starting to cook up. I can smell the aroma coming up from the pan. So that oil's at a pretty good sizzle now. So these potatoes ought to pick up some color pretty quickly. Just going to add some salt and some pepper. Flavor this up. And it's another dish that I like a fair amount of ground black pepper. So I'm just making room for all of that. The onions can stay to the side a little bit because we just want these potatoes to pick up a little bit of a crust. So for that size pan, I'm going to use about 8 eggs for this frittata. So let me just get them in this bowl, and then we'll prepare all of the fillings that I want to put in. You could go probably in that pan to make even a little fluffier, thicker frittata. You probably could go up to 10 eggs. Okay, so there's 8. Let's beat this up and see what we got. Just want to make sure I have enough volume here. And that's looking good, but you know me, I don't want to, I'm going to add 1 or 2 more of these, just in case. So now I'm going to 9, and then we'll go to 10 eggs. And this should make us a good frittata. I don't mind if it's a little bit bigger, because then you're going to have smaller slices. And as I told you before, I love to have some of this frittata in the refrigerator. We got some parsley here that's going to go in. This is an important ingredient in this frittata. So let's just chop these up really, really rough. Sometimes, if I'm in the mood, I won't even chop these. I'll just pick the leaves off and break them up into big pieces. Let's get this right into the egg wash. So I'm using some fresh mozzarella. I'm just going to cube this. Whoop, here's some parsley. I'm going to do like I said I'd do. Just rip it up a little bit. Put those leaves in there. Okay, so I'm just going to dice this. So I want a couple of big pieces of the fresh mozzarella. I'm just going to cut it this way. And then we'll cut it into small cubes. And that's going to go right in there. So these will melt and really add to the texture of the frittata as it's cooking in the pan there. Okay, so that's pretty good. Let's see how many of these we want. Just break them up with your hand so they're not sticking together. I'm in a generous mood. I'm going to add it all. Okay, so when I got it here, a little salt. You don't have to go too heavy because we're going to be using a grated cheese and that's hot. And this is another one where I like a fair amount of freshly ground black pepper. So let me take one of these sausages. Just going to cut it in half. So this is a nice sausage from Little City. This is a Sicilian sausage. It's got the fennel. Just going to quarter it and cube these also, and that's going to go right in there. But you know what? If you wanted to use a different cheese, if you want to use a fontina cheese, any melting cheese, that would be fine in this. If you don't want to use sausage, you don't have to. You can make this just with vegetables. Make sure we have enough ingredients. And let's grate up some of this. Probably have about 1/4 cup here. Let's gather it all together. Get it in the bowl. Let's mix all of this together. See? Nice texture. I got the sausage, we got the parsley, we got the mozzarella. Beautiful. The onions have picked up some nice color, the potatoes too. Just want to make sure I got a good amount of oil on the side here because I'm going to add the egg mixture. So I'm just running some of that oil around the side. Be careful with a hot pan because this is all going to go in here. And then I'm going to concentrate on forming this frittata. Oh, this one really came up nicely. After you put it in, I moved this around a lot. See how over there it's starting to bubble up a little bit, but on this side nothing? So you want to kind of move the pan around so you're going to get even cooking. Then with the fork, I'll even go down on the bottom here. And where the egg has started to cook on the bottom, I'm going to bring in some of the uncooked egg mixture. So just help me get a better and easier to form frittata. But when I see that I'm starting to get a little bit of a crust here, it's starting to set up a little bit, I'm just going to pull it in and let some of that raw egg mixture take the place of the egg that's cooked. So you just let it run in. So you're seeing I'm getting some texture here. They're bigger pieces of the frittata. It's not just all liquid. So now the magical part hopefully will start. We'll get this formed up nicely. See how it's already starting to kind of pull away? Stay away from the side of the pan. That's what we want. And again, move it around. I love this part of it. Move it around so that you're making sure all of the frittata is cooking equally. And just with this spatula, just keep pulling it away, pulling it away, pulling it away. And we're going to get to a point probably within the next minute when this is going to start standing up with an edge away from the side of the pan. And this will probably be the last time that I do this down on the bottom. See, because see how it's formed a side here? It's holding together nicely. It's off the side of the pan. And you can feel with your spatula if it's moving freely on the bottom of the pan. And this one's feeling pretty good. I just want it to dry out a little bit more before I flip it. I have a final shaping here. And I think I'm going to be ready to try to flip it over and finish cooking it on the other side. Okay, so I think this is set up pretty nicely. I can see that it's moving around freely in the bottom of the pan. That's what we want. And now it's my moment of truth. I'm going to put the plate on top of it and see if I can flip this over so I can put it back in the pan and cook the other side. So this is hot because it's been on the flame for a while. So let me get this my pan in place. Okay, say a prayer for me. Here we go. Oh, Madonna me, look at that. Think this is going to be edible? So we're just going to put it back in and let it finish cooking on the other side. That's it. Get these potatoes down there. I don't want to lose nothing, but look at that. That looks beautiful already. Okay, so I think our frittata is done. You can still, there's still some steam coming up from there. That's okay, because we don't want this to be totally dried out, but we want that egg to be cooked through and set up nicely. And you can feel it with your fingers. So here I'm feeling a little bit of sponge, but otherwise, I think this is cooked all the way through. I'm going to flip it one more time. Think you might be able to eat some of this? There's a frittata with mozzarella, sausage, potatoes, onion, and parsley, and a little bit of pecorino cheese. Absolutely gorgeous. Feels like it's well set up. Okay, so here's the frittata. I cut out a slice so you could see on the inside. You'll notice that there's really no runny egg, but it's still a little bit moist. And you'll see the mozzarella is kind of oozing out on this side. I'm just going to cut a little piece and taste it for you, see what we got here. Wow, look at this. Absolutely wonderful. Look at that. Everything's cooked through. Still got some moisture in there. It's not dry. The crust, it gives you a nice little nutty flavor. One of my favorites. Here you go. Potato, onion, sausage, mozzarella, and pecorino frittata. Buon appetito. Want a piece? You want the whole pie? I can just put that wedge back in here.